Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Melody Llama, and today we have a discussion video on who the best anime rival is. I'm going to be going over a couple of characters, and we're going to talk about first what makes a great rival character, because there are a lot of factors to it, and the first one is obviously they have to be a compelling character within themselves, right? It's not enough for it to be a great counter to the protagonist. You also need to be interesting yourself and have some things going on yourself, their own storyline, their own goals, their own missions. That's obviously very important. Their design is a big one. You need them to look the part. They can't come out here looking like a bum. Rivalry, of course, is important. I mean, they're the rival characters. You can't have the rival character not have a great rivalry with the main character. Do they contrast narratively? Do they contrast in battles? Their fight scenes is super important. And that's kind of the last one, their battles with the protagonist. If you're this great rival, you need to have some great conflict with the main character. Even if it's not a physical fight, there needs to be something that is interesting, something that pays off for the two of them. Let's start with kind of the figurehead of rival characters, and that is Vegeta from the Dragon Ball series. Vegeta himself is very interesting, right? He's the Prince of all Saiyans, he is an elite Saiyan who lost the Saiyan race, and he kind of represents that ego, that pride, that he and Goku are both warriors. They parallel in that regard, but contrast in pretty much every other regard. The only thing the two of them have in common is that they're Saiyans, they like fighting, and they eat a lot. Everything else is pretty much the opposite. Goku, he will fight and he will try to protect the Earth. Early Vegeta, especially like the Cell Saga, world be damned as long as he gets to throw hands with Cell, right? I think the Saiyan Saga, of course, bumps this up a lot. The whole low-class warrior versus elite warrior thing going on, and one can argue that he's not really a rival in the Saiyan Saga, and I can kind of understand that since he's just flat out the villain, not so much the rival character. That happens more so, I would say, in the Namek Saga, especially in the Android, and then definitely in the Buu Saga. In the Buu Saga, I think it is the highlight of their relationship, right? When you get Majin Vegeta, that is the ultimate rivalry. It fuels him to go back to the dark side. That's how much the rivalry matters to him. And then it concluding at the end of the Kid Buu fight by him telling Goku he's number one is really cool. And then after that point, I like that they are friends and I like that they spar a lot. But if I'm to be honest, I would say that past the Buu Saga, I view them more as just comrades, companions, friends. Like, sure, they spar and they compete, and Vegeta wants to surpass Goku, but there never seems to be that much interest in Goku's part, like Goku wanting to be stronger than Vegeta. Goku just wants to generally be stronger than anyone, while Vegeta seems to be more laser focused on Goku. And I think that bumps it down just a tiny bit, but overall, I would still put this in like the S tier, right? It's great. We're going to go to the next most popular rivalry. We have Sasuke Uchiha, and Naruto. Their rivalry is very important. In fact, the entire series is kind of revolved around this. Whereas Goku and Vegeta, it's one aspect of many different themes in the story. When it comes to Naruto, it is the through line, right? We meet Naruto and Sasuke very early on. They're rivals from the first arc, and the final battle is literally between them. This is an S, and I'm not going to hear otherwise. Sasuke is literally the most important thing to Naruto, even more so than becoming the Hokage. It is his main driver on what it means to become Hokage by the end of the series. In fact, by the end of the series, they're both vying to become Hokage, which was Naruto's goal from the get-go. They both go through many parallels and vengeance, like Naruto going after Pain because he killed Jiraiya, and Sasuke going after Itachi because of what he did to his family, and it happens in the same arc. Sasuke, who gives in to said vengeance and is punished for it, versus Naruto, who does not give in to it and is thus rewarded for it. So there's a lot of parallels, a lot of themes. They have incredible fights together. They have better fights than Goku and Vegeta, if I'm to be honest. And I know that might be a hot take, but the Buu Saga fight is really good. The Saiyan Saga fight is fucking incredible. But the Part 1 Final Valley, both Final Valley fights are ridiculously good, and the first meeting was just epic. So, yeah. Naruto and Sasuke, S tier. Next up, we have Uryu Ishida, and Uryu is my favorite Bleach character, and if the Thousand Year Blood War didn't happen, I would actually have Uryu kind of low, because In the Soul Society arc, Ichigo and Uryu don't interact all that much. He is really more just a companion for that arc. Prior to that arc, sure, you can call them rivals, but in that arc, not so much. And I talk about the Bound arc a lot because I actually think there's some pros in that arc. And in that arc, Uryu and Ichigo parallel each other a lot, but I wouldn't call them rivals there either. And even in the Arrancar arc, Uryu steps up to face Ulquiorra for him. So I don't know if I call these two rivals. I mean, they really don't fight each other until the Thousand Year Blood War, and that's like an anime only, damn near, because the manga version is so short. But the anime thing going on is really good. I love Uryu. He's my favorite Bleach character, but as a rival, I would have to put him in like maybe the B tier, right? I mean, he's not really a motivator for Ichigo in terms of like his power. Ichigo's motivation is more to protect Uryu rather than face him. So, people ask me like who's the rival character for Ichigo in Bleach, and I don't think he has one. I think the best answer is Uryu. He is his kind of opposite. But overall, I would say like C tier, honestly, even though Uryu is again my favorite character in Bleach. Next up, we got Katsuki Bakugo, and I think this is a very underrated one because Bakugo and Deku both admire All Might, and that is already something really huge connecting them. I thought all their fights were very entertaining, whether it was the 2v2 in their first battle when Bakugo, I forgot who he was teaming up with. Was it Ida? I'm not sure. But I know that Deku was with Uraraka, and it was really good. The fact that Bakugo also faces Uraraka in the UA tournament is really cool too, the festival, because, Uraraka was Deku's love interest, and she fights for Deku. She gets motivated by Deku. So that's another really cool thing to see. And their fight kind of in the city when Bakugo admits like his trauma about All Might picking Deku is such an incredible fight. They're awesome together. They're like really cool friends while being really great rivals. They're the perfect blend of those two. I think Vegeta and Goku are perhaps better rivals, but not as good friends versus the other way around, whereas Deku and Bakugo, I feel their friendship more. I think Uryu and Ichigo, they reach a little too much in the friendship category, and Deku and Bakugo, they certainly motivate each other, right? Bakugo deadass trains Deku for a lot of the story. Like when Deku needs help with the new ability, he goes to Bakugo, who is training him just so that he himself can get better. I'm going to give this one a very solid A tier. Next up, we have Goon and Kilawa. This is another classic rivalry. This one's another one where they're friends, and I think that they actually are a better rivalry than Ichigo and Uryu because I feel their friendship a lot like Ichigo and Uryu, yet they still remain with that competitive spirit. They still feel like they're competing against each other. Their personalities contrasting really well helps them a lot. I think the only thing keeping them down is the fact that they never really have a fight against one another, like a big fight. And obviously you want that climax from a rivalry, and it just never happens here. So I'm going to give this one a C as well. Next up, we have Tanjiro and Inosuke. And I do like Tanjiro and Inosuke's banter together. However, as a rival, I've always found Inosuke a little underwhelming. I like him more as a character, as a side character. He seems to me more like a Piccolo type character in the story rather than a Vegeta type character in the story. And I'm going to give this one I would say this one's like a B. We actually see them fight each other, and they do seem like good friends. So I think this one ticks some boxes, but not as well as some of the others. Next up we have is Ban from the Seven Deadly Sins series, and this is honestly one of the best ones. Regardless of how I feel about Seven Deadly Sins as a series, I'm not a huge fan. I have to admit that Meliodas and Ban's rivalry is one of the best things about the series. In fact, it might be my favorite thing. Because Ban and Meliodas, they're not only very competitive, like their first meeting was just incredible. Like when they're just casually beating the shit out of each other, yet they feel like long comrades. But in the right circumstances, they might just kill each other. But they're also going to kill anybody else who gets in their way. Meliodas and Ban, I'm going to give this one a high A. It's really cool, and Ban is a really good character overall. Now, I'm going to be honest with this next one. I would go with Gary for Pokemon, but I wasn't really watching the series when it came out. I'm not that old. So I'm going to go with Paul from the Sinnoh League. Paul and Ash had an incredible rivalry. Ash is this kind of energetic, fun character versus Paul, who's very stoic and that worked very well. Their battle at the League was just ridiculous. The story with Chimchar was really good too. And while some can argue that he's just a flat out villain, I'm going to disagree there because the villain is obviously like Team Rocket and Team Galactic throughout the story. Paul is very much a rival character. He's not necessarily evil. I mean, he's a piece of shit, but he's not evil per se. So Paul and Ash, I think they're very underrated, and I think it's been his best rival from when I was watching, which was anything past Hoenn and after. So Paul and Ash, I'm going to give these guys honestly an A tier as well. Next up we have Kaiba. Kaiba is just so awesome, right? Like his aura is immaculate. And, you know, even though I'm not too interested in the rivalry between him and Yugi, Kaiba is a character, man. He's just such a shit talker. He's such an asshole, and you gotta love it. He's this rich, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want because I'm Kaiba kind of dude, and it's sick. I'm gonna give this one a B, though. It's not as good as some of the others, but it's still very solid, and you get a couple duels between them, which is nice. And finally, we have Guts and Griffith, and this one, I would say for the first part, right, the Golden Age, it was very good, right? And the battle in the winter was just, my God, was that fight insane? Their first fight in the hill when they first meet is awesome. Like the fact that Guts, you know, Griffith now owns him, and their different philosophies, they are incredible together. But when we get to the snow battle, oh my God, I was shocked when that scene happened. It's still one of my favorite scenes, I think, in all of manga history. Like, I was expecting them to have this, like, war. And the story does show you how strong Guts is, and not so much Griffith. So you're thinking Griffith is hiding something maybe, but no. Guts is way past Griffith. It was not close for a very long time. And it was awesome to see. They represent different things in the manga. They have a lot of symbolism and a lot of similarities as well. And so I don't know about this one because to me, Griffith is just the villain, not so much the rival character. I don't view him as that like shadow to Sonic or something like that, or like Vegeta to Goku, of course. But they have one of the best relationships, like the best nemesis feels, kind of like Batman and Joker, of course, but I wouldn't call Batman and Joker rivals. They're arch nemesis. So I'm going to give this one a B, but overall, like if I was ranking them just purely as relationships, this would be an S. So if I were to rank these 10 rivalries we discussed, I would probably put number 10 Killua and Gon, mainly because there isn't a big fight between them or this major conflict. And number 9, I have Uryu, because in the anime, it's probably higher, but if you look at just the manga, it's not that great, so I would say 9. For number 8, we have Tanjiro and Inosuke. For number 7, we have Yugi and Kaiba. For number 6, we have Guts and Griffith, mainly because they don't give off the old, like the rival feel, but they're still great. Number 5, we have Meliodas and Bon. I don't like the show much, but this is a highlight of the series. At number 4, we have Ash and Paul. I love me some Pokemon, man. Number 3, we have Izuku and Bakugo, the perfect blend of friendship and rivalry, but ultimately that doesn't make it the greatest rivalry. And number 2, we have Goku and Vegeta. I wish if Goku was more, or I think if Goku was more like into the rivalry, it mattered more to him, then I would put this higher, maybe number 1, but it just can't compare to number 1, which is Naruto and Sasuke. I mean, this is the greatest rivalry of all time in anime. It is the point of the series. The final boss is the rival. You can't say that about any other battle that we've talked about, except for Griffith, of course. But yeah. But there you go. That is my opinion on ranking the rivalries. What is the best rivalry? I think it's Naruto and Sasuke. That's just my opinion. Who do you guys think is better? Why do you think another one is better? Why do you think Naruto and Sasuke is the best one? Let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out. Bye.